May I
Take the microphone. Take the microphone.
may I give you a few words as one of the founders of the Club of Rome?
The Club of Rome.
I am not a politician. I am a physicist. I was having a rather large research institute. And if you see something on the rail, it is TGV in France, which I am the father. And though also looking to the world, as in research, you have 10, 20 years into the future. And I thank you for the analysis you made today. I am fully in agreement with that. But we need solutions. We can, another 50 years, make criticism of what we are doing. But what happened after 40 years, what we see a few years in the world, is a catastrophe of the financial system. How is it possible that intelligent people can come to such a conclusion? The bankers have lost their profession. We had in Switzerland a good position because we were sure our money was with gold in Bern where no risk was there. That was no longer interesting for the banks. And they invented the investment banking 20 years ago due to the information technology that was very easy. But what happened? A booming industry, but with money which was nothing world. This world is where these papers had no value. How is it possible that thousands of bankers did no longer make a conservation of the money, but spending the money which was not there? How is that possible? Therefore, I believe we come to the conclusion, thinking about all that, that we need a new system of governance of the world. And we started that a few years ago, and I believe it is happening. It is in the air. If you see what is happening in Washington, you see very clearly what is behind. And we can no longer make an industrial development based on national identity. To finance a weapons industry, and what is the result? That is wrong. And why is this wrong? Because the Charter of the United Nations, which was an invention after the last war, is no longer valid. That is gone. We have to forget that we need a new system of governing of the world. And I believe we are in the beginning to show to the world that is necessary, and we made a scheme what should be done and how should it be introduced. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, that's a great note on which to end the interventions from the floor. I'm now going to give each of the panelists 30 seconds, or the equivalent, as it were, just to give their final thoughts and end with one suggestion, one practical suggestion.
Yes, the basic request for action that I make to you all is unbelievably easy compared with all the other things you're being asked to do, like create a new system of world governance. The action I ask from you is that you free your minds from the mad taboo against stating facts. And the key fact, as I said earlier, is that population stabilization is an essential, but not sufficient, condition of sustainability in any environmental field, and deserves to be mentioned as the colossal, the central environmental problem that it is, instead of constantly subjected to this lunatic taboo on ever breathing the P word. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ashok?
I took the title of this session literally, so that's what I addressed. I know and I feel as strongly as Aubrey does about the cataclysm ahead of us, but I don't think we can deal with it in the manner that he's dealing with it, which is to basically frighten the hell out of everybody to the extent that they get paralyzed. So I am trying to find different ways in which you can add them up, and today I was addressing just one small part of the problem, and I know that there are many, many other things to do. I do reject the notion that the fact that we've known how to do these things for 40 years means that we shouldn't deal with them now. To think and to know is not the same as action and doing. We have not done a thing about the issues that I was talking about ever. And I believe that the time has come to make the lives of people, particularly women, particularly young women, hopeful and better sufficiently that they can take care of their lives in their own manner. And I don't think we've been doing that. Right. Almost every government's policies are geared to making the rich richer and to exclude everybody else.
Well, that's the optimism for me is that it's utterly doable. The pessimism is that I'm not the pessimism. What's so upsetting is that we're not doing it, sufficiently. Aubrey, you have the final word.
My final word is I don't disagree with a single word that Roger and Ashok have said, and I have just one caveat, and that is I'm really much more frightened of failing to achieve a contraction and convergence event than actually arguing for it and dealing with the reactions that may sometimes be fearful around that. So my very simple, absolute end message is directly to you, Walter. Please, when you send the message forth from this very worthwhile event, the reasons for which are absolutely self-evident and do need to be got across. It's a massive, cruel injustice. Genocide fails to describe the enormity of what we're going into. Please do note that the medic profession who are here in strength are solidly behind contraction and convergence, from the World Health Organization through the BMJ, the Lancet magazine, the UCL contingent, and way, way beyond all of that, solidly behind CNC, can join with them in making that part of your message that goes forward to Kyoto. It makes the unbearable bearable. It makes the non-negotiable negotiable. It gives us a positive vision of how we could actually come together to resolve this problem. Please do that thing. Thank you.
Okay. Yes?
I'm so sorry. I thought that these were distributed earlier, but it seems they are with the lady at the back who will give you each one as you leave the room. They are my attempts to reduce to a single sheet of paper, as it were, the basic problem. On one side, a history of the world with the urgency. On the other side, a set of facts, which are the facts that I would recommend that you quote. And I'm so sorry you didn't get them earlier. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much indeed to the panelists. Ashok, Roger, Aubrey, thank you so much for being with us.